two bows this whole time? Crazy.
It's 2008. Eli Manning, the GOAT, son.
She look like a nigga and a Nikita. Mm-hmm. Put the controller on the charger for a second. Put the controller on the charger for a second. Put the controller on the charger for a second. Ay. Put the controller on the charger for a second. Ay. Put the controller on the charger for a second. Ay. Put the
It's
controller on
2008.
the
Eli
charger
Manning,
for a
the GOAT,
second. Ay.
somehow beats Tom Brady. Iron Man came out and started the whole MCU. My cousin Roman asked me to go bowling with him approximately 400 times, and I went like once. But life was. It's 2007, the year that.
Okay. Okay. So I guess today can be a wrestling episode. So Bob and Boom, y'all. Um, we finna watch a video basically detailing WrestleMania 23, 2007. That was the first WrestleMania that I ever watched. First WrestleMania I ever watched in my life. Um, Even though I had SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 shit, I wasn't watching it. I probably was, but then again, I really got into that shit like late that year. So, cause I remember that 2007 Royal Rumble. I remember that vividly. I remember that vividly. So, yeah, we finna watch that. I was finna watch the WrestleMania 22 bitch. Don't y'all love a hyperactive schizophrenic dog? Don't y'all love them? They're the best. All right now. Take the phone right quick. Okay, that bitch on 100, but I'm gonna take it off at 6. Bitch. That was a good one too. Fuck that. Take these bitches off. I ain't going nowhere else. I ain't got time to be playing no free mystery. But yeah, like I said, we finna watch WrestleMania 23. Not the whole thing, but just a YouTuber talking about it. Like I said, only reason we not watching WrestleMania 22 first because I didn't actually watch that one. All I had that was close to was SmackDown vs. Raw 2000. We finna watch this so we can feel nostalgic. So I'm finna load up the bowl right quick. I'm about to say, where's the bowl? Oh man, I almost poured that shit in there. When all I gotta do is scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Pack it to the top, pack it to the top, doo doo. Pack it to the top, pack it to the top, doo doo. Pack it to the top, pack it to the top, doo doo. Pack it to the top. Top to top to top top to the top to top to top to top. Right, everything else can fall on down. All right. Y'all ready for this? Nah, we finna hit the ball first. Finna hit this bitch first, then we gonna go with the move. All right. Let's get it. No! I'm such a dumb ass, bro. Probably tomorrow, if I remember it.
And you look always in the
If I remember it, we gonna watch Final Destination from Real Rejects.
what? Civil War trailer they say is out. An hour ago.
Thanks, Will, for letting us know.
Oh, we were in the middle of it.
8 years ago, boy, them niggas look different.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not really prepared for it, but we'll give a real reaction video right now.
Or the Sweden States.
This is the one with Marvel.
Fuck it. Let's see this right quick.
You know, all the
We're not finna watch the whole thing. We're just gonna watch the trailer.
Comes in and says, all right, y'all turning to ISIS right now. Hulk over here busting up shit. Y'all destroying Europe. Y'all gotta reveal your names.
You gotta get registered.
You get registered, social security numbers, thumbprints. We go up your ass, do a cavity check. We want everything from you guys.
It's all Tony Stark's thing.
It is. It is. And Captain America says,
Right. Man, fuck
I ain't down with that shit. Look, I know we boys, but you ain't checking me. Captain America, motherfucker. I'm off.
It's a direct quote.
That's a direct quote from the comic book. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer.
Buck, do you remember me?
Your mom's name is Sarah. You used to wear newspapers in your shoes.
You're a wanted man.
Don't do that anymore.
Well, the people who think you did are coming right now. And I'm planning on taking you alive.
I know how much Bucky means to you. Stay out of this one. Please. It'll only make this worse.
You say you'll arrest me?
There will be consequences.
Captain, you seem a little defensive. What's been wrong?
You know what's about to happen. Do you really want to punch your way out of this?
What do we do? We fight.
Oh, shit!
Ha
Shit, that panther! I just want a glimpse.
Yeah.
Just want a glimpse. Ooh, you see that shit? He had that pose. Ooh,
Sorry, Tommy.
Yeah, just watch them react to it.
You seem a little defensive. What's been wrong?
You know what's about to happen. Do you really want to punch your way out of this?
What do we do? We fight.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit, that panther! I just want a glimpse.
Yeah.
Just want a glimpse. Ooh, you see that shit? He had that pose.
Sorry, Tommy. You know I wouldn't do this if I had any other choice. But he's my friend. So was I. So was I.
Nigga getting jumped in.
Yeah, talking all that shit. Yeah, kick his perfect teeth in now, bitch. Oh, fuck that. You know what? No. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear no shit from people out there. Look, this trailer kind of teasing a little bit. You gave me a little bit of what I want to see. Black Panther. I was so scared that suit was gonna look stupid in live action. I can't wait to see it. You know what? I'm cool with that. You don't even have to move. You know, if it takes a little while for the movie to come out, I don't mind having a little bit of a teaser right there. You don't even know who Black Panther is, do you?
Yeah.
Yes, he's a character in the thing. I'm glad you're very detail oriented tonight. Oh, you know he's black.
I'm always here when the big comic book ones come out.
She didn't hear Panther, she just heard black. You know she loves black. Black what? Oh, ain't no joke. I'm being serious. Tell me you ain't wet right now looking at this shit. I am.
I am.
People, we talking about Black Panther. You know the prince of Wakanda, whatever. Wakanda. There you go. Place where they got the stuff that made Captain America shit. We've all been looking forward to this person who's gonna be played by Chadwick Boseman, and that costume looks badass. The pose looks badass. But here's my deal, man.
Now where's Spider-Man?
That's what I'm saying. I watched this shit anticipating. I thought the trailer was gonna have a stinger.
Right.
I thought we were gonna see Spider-Man.
No.
What do you mean no?
You know they're not gonna do that.
Oh, but wait a minute. Hold on. I just got to see this.
Yeah, that was very entertaining.
As much as I love Tony Stark, because a lot of people
Somebody needs to shut it.
Somebody, he's been a little bit just too smug in these last few movies.
He was really the villain of Age of Ultron.
He was. And didn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
But I was trying to help, but you just fucked everything up. You almost killed the world, man. It's good to see him get his ass whooped too. Yeah, whoop his ass. Made it look like Bucky and him were fucking, man. This was like Brokeback Mountain and Marvel, man.
Fuck. Do you remember me?
Your mom's name is Sarah.
Really?
And Baton like, oh shit.
You had to say that, man.
You know what? I think if there's any allegiance, it's going to be Falcon, because it's going to have to be this whole thing where Bucky is still not right in the head.
Sure.
And so Falcon's the one that's been by his side the whole time.
Now, one way this plays out in the comics, Cap dies and Bucky takes over as Captain.
They ain't doing that shit.
They ain't doing that shit.
That shit here. It looks like a Captain America and Bucky movie, man.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a Captain America movie.
It is a Captain America movie, but the Civil War is so much bigger than that. There's so
Yeah, plus they hyped it up as it's not really just a Captain America. It's almost like a little Avengers movie, you know. That's where they kind of have been selling it, but to see this trailer, it's not.
Well, like when you get to there, you see like two teams running.
yeah, no, you do, but I thought it was gonna be bigger, you know. Allie, leave that girl alone, Allie. You say you're in town, you look at her. Why you walking like you had to take a shit or something? Allie, how are you? Chad, I'm gonna let you say hello to your chat fam over here. What's that?
Josh,
What?
he makes fun of my eyebrows.
What's wrong with your eyebrows?
That's what.
Oh, is that where the eyebrows thing came
Yeah.
from? Oh, what's wrong with
Yeah, they aren't painted on. They're not too thick. You don't look surprised all the time.
your eyebrows are fine.
Why they talking about eyebrows, bitch? Three, two. It's my fault. You always charged 5. Here we go.
On something, they were like, "Congratulations, Corey," and I'm like, "What happened?" And I scrolled down and saw that the new Civil War trailer was out.
I know we're not perfect.
All right, I ran out of patience. On to Rouge.
I know people want to hear me squeal. I know people want to see my reaction where I just lose my shit. I'm just gonna calmly tell you that I jacked off about 5 times.
It's empty now. It's safe over here.
I'm hard again. I'm hard. So much good shit, Ali. So much good shit.
So uncomfortable.
Doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Did you say this?
Yes.
Then act like you love this shit.
Look how far she is off camera now.
Bring your ass here. This is people. I lost my shit when I saw this earlier today. This is everything that I wanted to be addressed. I can't even talk right now. I want to be addressed in superhero movies. What I love about this is that my biggest problems with superhero movies today. Now, I know y'all think I'm gonna talk shit about DC. I'm gonna be fair because DC and Marvel both got a problem. They both got a problem with their climaxes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they start out, they name the movie somewhere high, they end up blowing up a bunch of shit, killing a bunch of people. I know, you know, y'all got dialogue later where like, oh, the tragedy, so many people. You know, they ain't like really acknowledging it. You know, you see the Avengers eating shawarma and shit after they done killed half of New York.
How they done killed half of New York?
Shit, you know?
Man, killing people makes you hungry.
It does. It does.
Martin, what do you want to tell us?
Yeah, Martin eats people. You might want to scoot back a little bit, Corey. But you know, I understand that, you know, blowing up a city and killing people works up a hunger, but you also have to pay for your consequences too. And now that they've gone in and made this somewhat of a political matter, it makes things more real. Cause they told them, like, I love in this movie where they finally just addressed this and they said, you know, every fucking climax that you have has killed somebody, has destroyed some people. You guys have at this point blown up half the fucking world.
But how mad would you be if Tony Stark was the guy sticking his finger in your face lecturing you about, look at what you've done, when half the shit, like the last movie, was all his fault?
But you know what? That's he realizes that he's owning up to it now.
He's trying to make you own up to his mistake.
Yeah. He's saying, look, I fucked up, but don't know. What he's trying to say is, but I ain't the only one. You know, come on, y'all. Y'all ain't gonna leave me. Y'all ain't gonna make me. No, y'all ain't gonna.
You come in here and be like, man, I would have IRS $100,000. Y'all, we need to cop up some money.
I know I'm bullshit, y'all. I know.
How is he supposed to protect us?
I'm gonna do this to solve it.
Home now on digital.
Let me tell y'all,
I hate the internet.
man, I'm glad he got rid of that helmet. Cause this motherfucker looked like a nigga that just got out of jail.
Marvel Universe's Debo.
One step ahead of me, man. He looked like one big ass purple Debo. He looked just like Debo.
Stone Pump.
Yeah.
Nigga stupid.
People.
Wait, did everybody hold out? Yeah, I did. Okay, I didn't watch it either.
You didn't watch it?
No, I haven't seen it because of the show.
Oh, you didn't see it, Martin? How about you?
I watched it.
Oh,
Buddy Duddy. Of course.
He can't wait.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
You watched it? I had to. I gotta prepare for the show.
He's got a point. He's got to prepare.
Yeah. I'm like, what? That's what Sam's for.
Just like, wow. The show just stopped. Just screeching.
We usually don't give that kind of respect to Sam. Damn, man. That was raw as fuck right there. Get that next kid to do it.
What?
What you pretty much said.
What?
Do was down
What?
the trailer. He didn't
What?
have to watch it. He's got to edit it. He's got to come up and get stills.
There's a lot of work with your lazy ass. You don't know. Just sit there and watch it. There's no work like that. God, these kids today, man.
These kids still dirty.
Thank you. Get your boyfriend over here, man. Teach him something.
He's learning.
Thank you, man.
We're not together.
Oh, not anymore.
No, it's over.
Yeah. I'm sorry. But it is time. People have sat back and they said, man, today might as well be declared a national holiday. The world, not the internet, but the world just stopped to see the Avengers assemble as we know them. One last time against the biggest threat they have ever come across. That big purple one. No, not the grimace, as you said.
Yeah. The world's most powerful California race.
Yeah, California Raiders on steroids. Like, the one that we've been seeing through all these films. The whole time he just been sitting back. And y'all been talking shit about my man. Because everybody's been sitting up here and we've been looking at this dude, Thanos. They're like, man, Thanos ain't shit.
Won't even get off the couch.
Every time we see him, he just sitting on that chair with that remote control.
He's got pockets on it. The chair moves so he doesn't have to.
He just said, he ain't shit. That motherfucker watching direct TV all day. He ain't nothing. Who the fuck is Thanos? Fuck him.
Eat it. Get me a beer.
Yeah, eat a purple dick is what you do. Oh, I wish y'all hadn't said that. You know, made my man mad now, and he is coming down. He said, I'm done with these Avengers. Bitch, you next.
Bitch.
Let's go ahead and see. Now, you know what we're talking about. We have been waiting for months for this trailer, for the symbol of the Avengers as they gather and prepare themselves for Infinity War.
Who the hell are you guys?
Boy, let me tell y'all something. Let me go ahead and get those on out the way right now. I don't want to hear none out of everybody, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my Justice League dig out the way. I said Justice League was some good shit. I said it was alright. Y'all on the right track. Fuck Justice League. I like the way Justice League, Marvel just loves fucking with people. Marvel let Justice League get his ass whooped. They gave Justice League a week to recover, and then they just pop right up and kick down on your goddamn stomach. Oh my god.
Definitely on drugs back then.
I'm gonna destroy Aquaman's kingdom. I'm coming for you. I never promised blood unless it's gonna taste blood. Wouldn't have it any other way.
We gonna watch Aquaman 2 one day. One day.
52 is a long time to be playing Iron Man. Yeah, man. If Thanos really wants to win, he could just stop before he punches him. Like, you know what? Nah, it's gonna be too easy. Tony gonna be like, no, do it. Nah, that's all right, man.
Nah, that's all right.
Oh, man. Infinity. So let me just make sure that neighbor's cool real quick. Hold on. Shit!
Yo, people around you do not like that. That's why you don't do this shit no more. It ain't because he ain't been having no fire trailers. There's people around that don't like this shit. They just be looking at him like, get it out. Oh man, but yeah, we about to watch what made WrestleMania 23 so awesome. Let's go.
It's 2007, the year that Call of Duty 4 came out and got us all addicted to online first-person shooters. Kanye dropped Graduation, and little 9-year-old me got suspended for pulling the fire alarm at school. But before all of that, the Royal Rumble in 2007 ended with The Undertaker as the last man standing.
Yeah,
and the road
exactly.
to WrestleMania 23 began, and it was legendary. Yo, the WWE from January to April of 2007 brought me some of my fondest wrestling memories of my childhood. And it all started with The Undertaker. He had all the power in his hands after winning the Rumble, and the question was, which title was the dead man going to challenge for at WrestleMania? Taker would appear on every show staring down the champion, and then Undertaker on an episode of Raw was in the ring with the three champions, and he made his choice. He chose the animal, Batista. The two biggest stars of SmackDown, Animal versus Deadman, two monsters were gonna go at it. Meanwhile on Raw, at WrestleMania, it was going to be Shawn Michaels versus John Cena, four of the most popular and beloved wrestlers in the company in Undertaker. He had all the power in his hands after winning the Rumble, and the question was, which title was the dead man going to challenge for at WrestleMania? Taker would appear on every show staring down the champion, and then Undertaker on an episode of Raw was in the ring with the three champions, and he made his choice. He chose the animal, Batista. The two biggest stars of SmackDown, Animal versus Deadman, two monsters were gonna go at it. Meanwhile on Raw, at WrestleMania, it was going to be Shawn Michaels versus John Cena, four of the most popular and beloved wrestlers in the company in two main events for the two biggest championships in wrestling. And in No Way Out 07, the two matches collided. Shawn and Cena were forced to team up against Batista and The Undertaker. This was one of the most creative WrestleMania builds ever, and it was such a blast. The builds for these matches were amazing. This show was everywhere. Everyone was talking about it at school, and if that wasn't enough, the WWE brought in Donald Trump to do the Battle of the Billionaires. This show was one of the most hyped WrestleManias of all time, and the hype resulted in the show doing 1.2 million pay-per-view buys, and at the time, it was the most bought WrestleMania of all time. So, let's go back to Detroit. Hopefully we don't get robbed. Let's go back to 2007. Let's go back to our childhoods. Let's take Saliva's Ladies and Gentlemen MP3 and inject that shit straight into our veins. It's Ford Field. With 80,000 fans in attendance, let's take a look back at what made WrestleMania 23 so awesome.
Step inside the Infinity QX60.
I had to buy something. He's your brother.
Where are we supposed to hit it?
The pyro lit up the arena, the Saliva song played, WrestleMania was all grown up. It was such a crazy night. For the first time since 2003, WrestleMania was back in the stadium where it belongs. A certified banger. I got money in the bank. Shawty, what you drank? The hardest match in SBR 07, the Money in the Bank ladder match. This match was stacked beyond comprehension. Jeff Hardy was back at WrestleMania. CM Punk in his Mania debut. Matt Hardy, Mr. Kennedy, Randy Orton, King Booker, Finlay, and of course, Edge. I was so shook of Edge in this match. My biggest fear was him winning. Anyone else could have won. Literally anyone. Finlay, go ahead and win. Take Hornswoggle to Disney World. Go become world champion. I don't want anyone but Edge, because I knew if he got close to the Money in the Bank briefcase once again, that mother Canucker was going to ruin my life once again. If only I knew. The 2006
If only I
knew. This match took it to another level. Everyone went crazy. Step ladders being thrown around, swanton bombs, spinneroonies, that piece of shit Edge was spearing everyone and their moms. So many vicious ladder shots. CM Punk was bleeding, but that didn't stop him from channeling his inner Terry Funk. But the moment that everyone remembers from this match was Jeff Hardy risking it all, and thanks to him, Edge got clapped. And honestly, that's an understatement. In one of my favorite spots ever from my childhood, after Edge was placed on a ladder at ringside, Jeff Hardy, I swear to God, climbs up to the ceiling of Ford Field. This man was so high. No, not like that. Come on. I mean, wait, it is 07, so maybe. But Jeff Hardy was on the tallest ladder I've ever seen in my life, and this psychopath looked into the camera, screamed, and bang, he dropped the most wild leg drop of all time. Legit crushing Edge. Ladder snapped in half, Edge snapped in half. This leg drop was so wild, even Hulk Hogan started wilding out backstage. You know what, dude? Why did Jeff Hardy just take my finish, brother? That's my finish, dude. Let me out there. Edge was a write-off. Edge was basically dead, and as a 9-year-old watching this was the happiest moment of my life. Edge was not going to be Mr. Money in the Bank. The match went on in RKOs off the top of the ladder, bookends from the top of the ladder, and at one point, Booker had the option of winning the match or saving his wife, and he saved his wife. Poor little Hornswoggle came through. Remember when they used to call him little bastard? And he was going to do it. The little homie was going to win the Money in the Bank, but nope, Mr. Kennedy destroyed him. After it was all said and done, and bodies were definitely broken, CM Punk and Mr. Kennedy were fighting for the win. They exchanged punches, and Punk shoved him off, but Kennedy came back, grabs another ladder, hit him right in the face, went up, and grabbed the briefcase. Mr. Kennedy won the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 23. Such a great opener, so physical, so many memorable and creative spots. As a kid, I was just happy Edge didn't win. But of course, as usual, Edge always figured a way to finesse the system and make little me depressed. I thought I was safe from Edge, because you know, Mr. Kennedy won, but no. Nah. A few weeks later, Edge would go on to beat Mr. Kennedy for his Money in the Bank contract, and we all know what happened next. I'm telling you, nobody caused me more childhood trauma than this man. When you think of WrestleMania World Title matches, there have been a lot of fantastic matches, but there's one match that doesn't get the respect it deserves. But that's why your boy Pav is in the cut, to put some respect on Batista versus The Undertaker. This match is one of the best big man matches of all time. Batista and Undertaker were the faces of SmackDown. And ever since Batista got drafted to SmackDown, this is what we wanted to see, and we finally got it. Batista with the big gold belt was just perfect. He came into the match showing no fear, and I'm not gonna lie to you, as a kid, I was low-key Team Batista going into this match. Undertaker in 07 was a beast. He took half of 06 off, came back in January with a vengeance. Out of all the matches on this card, me and my grade 3 homies were most excited about this, and boy did it ever live up to the hype. Taker came out with his army of crackheads singing their little black magic spells, and this is what Mania is all about. This match was a back and forth war. Batista, as soon as the match started, just speared Undertaker, tossed him around to the steps. Taker would fight back, and for 15 minutes, these two just killed it. Taker did his moves, but no matter what, Batista fought back. Taker did his iconic jaw-dropping WrestleMania dive, but Batista still got up and did his thing. Batista casually just picked up the Undertaker, a 300-pound man. He jumped from one announce table to the other, power slamming Taker through the table. Back in the day, nobody did that to the Undertaker. No one was tossing around Taker like that, especially at WrestleMania. But Batista was legit. It was back and forth, so many power moves, non-stop action, and the crowd was so into it. Taker would reverse the Batista bomb and eventually out of the corner hit Batista with the last ride. But Batista kicked out. Taker hit him with the chokeslam. Batista kicked out. Batista came back with a spine buster. He shook the ropes, which everyone loved seeing back in the day. He hit him with the spear and the Batista bomb, and he went for the cover. The crowd got quiet. Cole was screaming, "The streak is over! Streak is over!" 1, 2, no. And as soon as Taker kicked out, the crowd erupted. The crowd loved Batista, but they wanted to see Taker win so bad. Batista went for one more Batista bomb. Taker reversed it, hit him with the tombstone, crossed the arms, tongue out like Jordan in his prime. 1, 2, 3, and the crowd went mental. Grown men were jumping up and down. The crowd was in a frenzy. It looked like a soccer game. The fans wanted to see Taker win the title, and after 10 long years, after a banger of a match with Batista, the Dead Man was once again champion at WrestleMania, and now was 15-0. What a match. It gets forgotten, but it shouldn't be. There was no reason for this match to be this special in the first place, but Taker and Batista just had that elite chemistry. Batista looked like a star. Taker bought his A-game, and they killed it. Taker posed, pyro going off. It was a beautiful sight. From Taker winning the Rumble to the build-up of this match to the actual match, it was perfect. The Undertaker streak reached another level on this night, and this began the legendary run of WrestleMania Classics with The Undertaker. Underrated classic.
Really though, because bro, a lot of people think that should have been the last match, except the John Cena and Shawn Michaels match. And I'm one of those people. I ain't gonna lie, they really should have traded spots. It would have worked better, to be honest. But no, I ain't gonna say I understand it because I don't. That was weird. They didn't do that shit. Well, I guess they have their reasons, wherever it is.
So, it's 07, and the WWE really wanted to spice up WrestleMania and get some mainstream attention. So what do? They call up Donald Trump and get him to agree to participate. They call it the Battle of the Billionaires. Vince in one corner, represented by Umaga. Donald Trump in the other corner, represented by Bobby Lashley. Stone Cold Steve Austin as the referee, and whichever Billionaires rep loses has to get their head shaved. Only in pro wrestling. 2007, What a time it was to be alive. The build-up to this match was hilarious. Vince in '07 officially lost his mind, and it all started here. And he would roast Trump non-stop, and Trump would just stand there awkwardly, not knowing what the hell was happening. But this match had the world buzzing. Everyone was talking about this. Non-wrestling fans knew about WrestleMania because of this match. Somebody was going to get his head shaved, and everybody knew it was going to be Vince. It was really obvious, but it was still something that everyone wanted to see. So Vince made his entrance, Umaga made his entrance, Bobby Lashley and Trump, the barber chair even had its own entrance. As crazy and stupid as this match was, it was just fun. There was so much going on. The crowd was into it and jumping around for the whole match. Bobby and Umaga did their thing. Umaga once again proving just how elite he truly was. You had Shane McMahon come in to help his father out, just casually did it coast to coast. Austin got banged in by Umaga, and then Shane revealed himself as the referee. But then Austin gets up and he starts going crazy on Shane. Trump out here jumped on Vince with the worst whatever that was. Austin stunnered Umaga, then Bobby Lashley speared Umaga. It was a mess. This was sports entertainment and the crowd loved it. It was wacky, it was stupid, but like I said, it was a good time. So Bobby pinned Umaga, which meant one thing. Vince McMahon was going to get his head shaved. And once poor Vince realized that, he ran for his life. He ran like the police was chasing him, but poor guy couldn't escape this one. Sadly, this wasn't the 1994 steroid trial. Austin gave Vince the Stone Cold Stunner to knock him out. They took Vince, tied
That
him to the
nigga's
chair.
too specific with it though.
Just embarrassed him. Hundreds of thousands of people bought WrestleMania just to see this, and they got it. They shaved his head in front of 80,000 people, millions watching at home. I'll never forget watching this as a kid and just dying laughing. My whole family's laughing. Everybody the next day at school was making fun of Vince's bald head. And poor Vince, man, he was crying, he was begging, and Austin looked like this was the greatest day of his life. Trump had no emotion whatsoever, but it's all good. Trump was doing the trimming, and if that wasn't enough, they put shaving cream on Vince, and they used razors to finish the job. What beautiful service. Vince looked like a mess, and once Vince saw what he looked like, he just fell down because it was that bad. It was a great WrestleMania moment. The owner of the company, the man who created WrestleMania 23 years ago prior to this, was getting his head shaved in the ring and crying. Everyone's drinking beer and having a good time, and it was only right. Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Donald Trump got hit with a stunner, and it was something. Yeah. The future president of the United States got stunnered at WrestleMania, and it's things like, where else would you have ever seen anything like this? Oh, and hey, because of this moment, in a few weeks, we got Do-Rag Vince, the most OP anime character of all time.
The most OP anime character.
An insane Money in the Bank ladder match. Batista and Undertaker tearing the house down. There was still one match left.
Are you ready?
Glow 6 in the crowd, lighting turned green, the fans went nuts. Mr. WrestleMania was about to make his entrance. 11 years after the boyhood dream came true, sober HBK was back, trying to make the middle-aged dream come true. Shawn Michaels was back in the main event of WrestleMania, challenging for the WWE Championship. The fans loved Shawn. Cena came out to one of my favorite entrances in WrestleMania history. A Ford Mustang was seen driving around Detroit, drifting and swerving, and Jerry Lawler was like,
This is JR, the Fast and the Furious.
crazy how things work out. The car arrives outside.
Yeah, right though. I just thought about
that.
that.
It goes down the tunnel. It stops for a second. It revs and then smashes through some glass. Cena's music plays, and out comes the GOAT. It was time. HBK versus John Cena. The fans were loud, they were amped, a little too amped maybe, because fun fact, if you ordered this pay-per-view live and you watched it, you saw a guy right before the main event started jump into the ring and take his shirt off, while HBK and Cena were waiting for their match to start. It was just hype. The bell rang, Michael's watched it, you saw a guy right before the main event started jump into the ring and take his shirt off, while HBK and Cena were waiting for their match to start. It was just hype. The bell rang, Michaels wanted a handshake early, Cena said no, so Shawn slapped John right in the face, followed by a DX crop chop. The memories. And for 28 minutes, we got something awesome. HBK and Cena tore the house down. Legit 2 minutes into the match, HBK sent Cena outside the ring, and this man went on the apron and did a moonsault from the ring to the outside onto the table. Shawn dominated Cena and basically took him to wrestling school, but Cena hung in there. Cena went for the FU, HBK countered it, he went for the sweet shit music, Cena ducked and hit the referee right in the face. The referee was down, So Cena went for the FU again, but Michaels once again countered that into a DDT, and the crowd was just on their feet. And this was one of the coolest spots of the match. Shawn went outside the ring and took off the top half of the steel steps. He dragged Cena to the floor, and on the steel steps, HBK did a pile driver. This was insane. Wrestlers weren't doing pile drivers anymore in 2007 unless you were The Undertaker. The move was actually banned in 2000, but here in the main event of WrestleMania, HBK wanted to go all out. What made this match so special in my eyes was they didn't rely on 50 million finishers and kickouts. Instead, they used the reversals to their advantage. So did they attempt 50 million finishers? Yes, but they didn't hit 50 million finishers. Both men were legit escaping out of their opponent's finishers in the wildest ways. So when the one Sweet Chin music did hit, it was like, yo, wait, what the fuck? Is it over? When one FU did hit, it meant something. Cena caught HBK in midair, rolled through for the FU, only for HBK to reverse it into the super kick, only for Cena to reverse that into the STFU. God damn it, I love wrestling. After 28 minutes back and forth, the crowd was hanging on every move. Cena went for the FU, Michaels countered it, Cena tripped Shawn and put him in the STFU. Middle of the ring, the crowd was begging Shawn not to tap. Jim Ross was going mental, and after 30 seconds of trying his best to survive, HBK tapped. Back-to-back years, the champ was still here, making both members of DX tap out in the middle of the ring. Cena celebrated, and you can tell he was happy, just soaking it all in, because even though he knew the fans were booing him, he knew he put on a show, and deep down he knew that they respected him. He celebrated with his dad, and he went up to Shawn Michaels to shake his hand, and HBK said no and walked off. Apparently, he was mad at Cena for not doing a better job of selling his leg earlier in the match, which honestly was perfect. Cena didn't shake his hand at the start, and HBK didn't shake his hand at the end, and a few weeks later in England, they tore the house down once again. Cena would then go on to have an amazing 2007, but what a match, what a night, what a WrestleMania. Everybody brought their A game. Shawn Michaels, John Cena, Batista, The Undertaker, Bobby Lashley, hell, even Donald Trump, and especially Vince McMahon with his facial expressions. The Money in the Bank was fantastic. This is one of the most underrated WrestleManias of all time. This WrestleMania often gets forgotten. Hell, even me, last year I made a video on 21, 22, 24, but I did not make a video on WrestleMania 23. But this WrestleMania is so underrated. It has so many great matches and moments. Such a special WrestleMania.
What is it?
The Bank was fantastic. This is one of the most underrated WrestleManias of all time. This WrestleMania often gets forgotten. Hell, even me, last year I made a video on 21, 22, 24, but I did not make a video on WrestleMania 23. But this WrestleMania is so underrated. It has so many great matches and moments. Such a special WrestleMania. The Ruthless Aggression era was a special time, and every single WrestleMania from that era just hits differently, and this is proof that even the forgotten WrestleManias from that era are still classics. Thank you guys for watching. It means a lot. I'm sorry for my little break, my hiatus, but I'm back. No more breaks, no more hiatuses. Thank you guys for all the support.
Say goodbye to tasteless
My boy just like barking, boy. I swear to God.
Healthy Choice Power Bowls, packed with ingredients to power your day, like nourishing veggies, all natural adobo chicken, and 26 grams of protein. Healthy Choice, the smart choice.
But life was good, minus the whole recession part, but hey, we were kids and WWE was lit, so that's all that mattered. The WWE had John HD, and it was beautiful. As a kid, I didn't really notice the difference. Now watching a 3 HD show compared to an actual HD show, it's like, how the hell did we watch this? It was the fun time to be a fan. Jeff Hardy was still out there wilding until he got suspended. John Cena made his legendary return to 2008 Rumble, and every kid just marking out. The two kids who made their names at WrestleMania 21 as the heels that were next up, well, they were up, and now they were world champions. Edge and Orton were officially the top heels in the company, and we hated them. Undertaker was still dead as usual. Old man Ric Flair, it was beautiful. As a kid, I didn't really notice the difference, but life was good, minus the whole recession part, but hey, we were kids and WWE was lit, so that's all that mattered. The WWE had gone HD and it was beautiful. As a kid, I didn't really notice the difference, but now watching a pre-HD show compared to an actual HD show, it's like, how the hell did we watch this? It was just a fun time to be a fan. Jeff Hardy was still out there wilding until he got suspended. John Cena made his legendary return to the 2008 Rumble and had every kid just marking out. The two kids who made their names at WrestleMania 21 as the heels that were next up, well, they were up and now they were world champions. Edge and Orton were officially the top heels in the company and we hated them. Undertaker was still dead as usual. Old man Ric Flair was still styling and profiling at 59 years old. Well, the question was, for how long? And in March we got WrestleMania 24. The last WrestleMania of the Ruthless Aggression era. The era that so many of us grew up with. The era that is responsible for so many of us loving wrestling. And this was it. The WWE was slowly changing. We were getting older. And even though as the years went on, we still loved WWE, this was still the final mania of our era. So we will always love this. And also, because of this mania, I got into Red Hot Chili Peppers. So it'll always have a special place in my heart. This mania, top to bottom, was a blast. So let's go back to March of 2008, live from Crackhead, Orlando, Florida. 74,000 attendance. WrestleMania looking flat out gorgeous. Let's take a look at WrestleMania.
You know, bowl for crack, y'all.
What I loved about this mania was the vibe. The Florida sunshine vibe. The stadium was amazing. The stage was great. It took them 15 days to set up the stage and they worked 16 hours a day. But WrestleMania felt like WrestleMania again. Even though 23 wasn't a huge stadium, it just didn't hit like this one. WrestleMania was back outside with 74,000 people screaming, and now in vibrant HD, it just looked like the coolest spectacle you would ever see. You had fighter jets flying over the stadium, John freaking Legend singing America the Beautiful. I remember as a kid, before a match even took place, I was just in awe. We got a Belfast Brawl to open up the show where poor Hornswoggle just got absolutely collapsed. It was a fun show. It was no Owen versus Brett, but hey, we got tables and trash cans, so I don't see the issue. We got an awesome Money in the Bank. Of course, it's WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, it's always going to be a banger. But John Morrison was out here doing moonsaults with a ladder. Shelton, as usual, taking insane bumps. This match had so many finishers off the top of the ladder. We even got a Walls of Jericho on the ladder. Matt Hardy made a surprise return and hit MVP with a twist of fate. Listen, like I said, it's a WrestleMania Money in the Bank ladder match. You already know they went out there to kill themselves for our entertainment, and there was just some wild spots. And everyone I knew thought Jericho was the clear favorite, but Punk outsmarted him and got his legs trapped in the ladder, grabbed his briefcase, and CM Punk was Mr. Money in the Bank. I don't think many people were expecting that to happen, but it did. CM Punk in 2006 at WrestleMania was an extra in John Cena's entrance, and now 2 years later, he's Mr. Money in the Bank at the same show. Kane became ECW champion in 9 seconds, Batista had a decent match with Umaga. We even got a Kim Kardashian sighting. Say what you want to say about Kim Kardashian, but in 2008, Kim Kardashian, whoa. The first hour or so was fun, but once the sun had set, once it got dark out, it was time for something legendary. In wrestling history, there have been many moments that made the audience emotional. Whether it's storylines, matches, or moments, there have been times that you couldn't help but be emotional. Moments that just pulled at your heartstrings. Wrestling is a beautiful thing because of those moments and because of storytelling. Wrestling is at its best when you forget what you're watching and you're just invested. In November of 2007, the WWE started a storyline arc that is without a doubt one of the greatest storylines they've ever done. Ric Flair was 59 years old. He had done it all and he had seen it all. From surviving a plane crash to wrestling 60-minute classics every night, from the Four Horsemen to Evolution, Starrcade to WrestleMania, wrestling since the 70s, over 40 championships held, a true pop culture icon, and of course a wrestling icon. No matter how old you were, you appreciated Ric Flair. He was simply the man. He was the
cry for that nigga, man. Before I cry for that
the
nigga.
next match you lose,
Like I do him personally.
and that's it. That's the storyline. Old man Ric Flair didn't want to retire. Okay, that's fine. He just had to keep on winning and winning. And it wasn't going to be easy. Vince was going to do whatever he could to make sure Flair lost. So Flair
Flair had to pull out all the dirty tricks he had to survive, and he did, and he was surviving. Sure, it was DQs and countouts most of the time, but a win is a win, especially for the dirtiest player in the game. So WrestleMania season was approaching, and that meant so was the Hall of Fame. Shawn comes out and says, "It's my honor and privilege to announce the very first inductee." It was none other than Ric Flair, and it was announced by his good friend Shawn Michaels. Then the next week on Raw, Shawn had just finished a match, and out came Flair. Shawn is bowing down, the crowd is wooing, they are hugging. Rick begins talking. He explains how he is so honored to go into the Hall of Fame and that WrestleMania weekend is going to be the highlight of his career. And there was only one thing that could make it even better. And that would be to wrestle Mr. WrestleMania himself at WrestleMania. Ric Flair challenges Shawn to a match at WrestleMania. But remember, the next match Flair loses, he has to retire. HBK is shocked. "I'm sorry, I can't. I don't want to be known as the man who retired Ric Flair." So Rick looks him in the eye and says, "Shawn, all the respect you gave me last week means nothing if you don't give me the best match of my career on the grandest stage of them all." Shawn hesitates, but looks him in the eye and says it would be an honor to wrestle you at WrestleMania. And for weeks they went along with it, cutting friendly promos, even tagging together, but it all changed on the last Raw before WrestleMania. HBK is still laughing and playing around with Rick, but Rick just stops and he snaps. He brings out the old NWA belt and he starts yelling in HBK's face. Rick was tired of how HBK was treating this as not something serious, so he's screaming in his face, "I need one more night, I need one more match, I need to be the Nate." He was basically telling HBK, "Bring it, stop the fun and games, and bring your A game." So then Shawn gets serious. He says to Flair, "I'm going to give you everything you need. I'm going to give you Shawn Michaels. I'm going to give you Mr. WrestleMania, the headliner, the icon, the main event, and rest assured, I'm going to give you the showstopper." Flair is satisfied, he's happy, and Michaels is about to leave, but looks back, delivers one of the most iconic promo lines of all time. Remember the story of Old Yeller? They loved that dog, but when it was time, they had to take that dog out back and finish him. And at WrestleMania, I'm going to put you, Old Yeller, out of your misery. Ric Flair snaps. He starts slapping him. "Old Yeller? Old Yeller, huh?" The whole time Flair wanted to light a fire in HBK. The fire was always there. Shawn just wanted to make sure that Flair was ready. And this was it. Flair versus Michaels at WrestleMania on the grandest stage of them all. If Flair loses, he retires. His 30-year career is over. The story was amazing. Flair knew his time was winding down. He had spent months overcoming the odds, surviving wrestlers in their primes, but he knew his ride wasn't going to last forever. He wanted someone to end his misery. He wanted another GOAT to do it, and he wanted it on the grandest stage of them all. He wanted to dial it back to the 80s one more time, give the fans a classic, show them who the Nature Boy was and is, and just maybe he had some magic left in him. And then there's HBK. He doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to be the one to end his hero's career. But at the same time, it's his friend asking him for a match. It's his friend asking for a favor. So what does he do? Does he go to Mania and end Flair's career? Does he give it his all? Does he coast? Does he lay down for him? Does he take it easy on him? Should he end Flair's career before someone else trying to make their name does it? What's his legacy going to be like if he loses to a 59-year-old Flair at WrestleMania? How can he be the GOAT? How can he be Mr. WrestleMania? There was so much depth in one storyline, it was perfect. And then the night before Mania, you had Flair inducted into the Hall of Fame. So it was dark out, the stadium looked gorgeous, and out came HBK. The crowd still loves him, Mr. WrestleMania was here, and now it was time for the Nature Boy. The crowd was booing like no tomorrow, the music hits, and what a reaction. Fireworks going off, Ric Flair standing in his blue robe just soaking it in. What a visual. Ric Flair walked to the ring like he was a king. His family was at ringside, a little Nate as the referee. This was going to be something special, and it was. Ric Flair at 59 years old went 20 minutes with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. It was amazing. The crowd was so hot. Every few seconds you would hear, woo, every chop, woo. Flair went out there and in front of 74,000 people after wrestling since the 1970s, hit HBK with all of his greatest hits, all of his classic spots, and Shawn returned the favor, and together they created magic. It's WrestleMania. You already know what move Shawn was going to pull out. He goes on the apron, bounces off the second rope, goes flying in the air, and does a springboard moonsault. Flair isn't there, and bang, Michaels' ribs right into the table. And Flair did everything he could, suplexes and all, to somehow beat Michaels. HBK fought back and somehow pulled out another moonsault off the top rope to the outside. But the coolest spot, without a doubt in my opinion, was when it was time for the sweet chin music. Shawn was tuning up the band, he was ready to end it all. It was going to be the end of the legendary career of Ric Flair. Fans going crazy, they're counting along to every thump. Flair slowly gets up, Shawn went for the sweet chin music, but as Jim Ross said, he couldn't pull the trigger. He freezes and he couldn't hit the kick, but Nature Boy pulled his trigger. He grabs his legs and puts him in the iconic figure 4 leg lock. Classic. What a genius spot. When Shawn finally did hit it with the sweet chin music, it was literally out of nowhere. No one saw it coming and the audience let out a huge gasp. Commentary was shook, I was shook, the audience was shook, and both men were down, and this was it. Michael slowly goes over, gets his arm around Rick. 1, 2, no, Flair kicked out. So much drama, so much passion, and such great storytelling. This is what wrestling is all about. Flair wasn't going down that easy. He still tried everything he could. Low blow while the referee wasn't looking, but it wasn't enough. Flair did everything, but it wasn't working. After 19 minutes of them going at it, HBK out of nowhere, again, sweet chin music, and it was time for one of the most emotional moments in wrestling history. Michaels is slowly getting up, and eventually Flair is slowly getting up. Michaels is in the corner, and it was about to go down. Michaels with the saddest look on his face, no tuning up the band this time. Commentary goes silent, the crowd goes silent. Shawn was about to put Old Yeller out of his misery. Flair gets up and he's begging for it. He knows it's coming. He tried everything he could, but it just wasn't meant to be. He wants Michaels to end it. Michaels says, I'm sorry, I love you, and sweet chin music. 1, 2, 3, it was over. One of the greatest matches of all time. When it comes down to drama and storytelling, it's hard to find something better than this. Everybody in the back of their head knew Flair was losing. It was the end, but there was always that little hope. And that's what made this special. Shawn quickly gets out of the ring, looking down, just walks away, and it was all eyes on Flair in the ring. Flair started crying and the cheers got louder and louder. Standing ovation for the Nature Boy. Flair is sitting there crying, just soaking it in. Charlotte is there crying, his sons are there crying, Rita's there, rest in peace. Emotional is an understatement. He goes to his family, so many tears, the stadium is rocking. Flair waves goodbye, he's smiling while crying. He's on the entrance ramp, turns around, puts his hands in the air, kisses goodbye, and Ric Flair had officially retired from the WWE. An all-time great wrestling moment. You can't watch this match and tell me wrestling isn't art. A beautiful story, a beautiful match, and a beautiful ending. It was something straight out of Shakespeare. An all-time great wrestling moment. Even as a kid, I was about 10 years old and I still knew how important this was. And even I had teary eyes back then. And all I knew about Flair was Evolution and his 05-06 run. And yeah, I knew he was a cool guy back in the 80s, but even then, I got teary-eyed. Imagine the people who grew up watching Flair in his prime. Back in the 70s or the 80s, or the kids who grew up watching him win the Rumble in 92, or the WCW kids, this was special. This is what WrestleMania is all about.
Do you know about it? Do you know about it? Do you know? 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 No, 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 no. Do you know? Do you know? No, 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 no. Do you know?
And then Flair ended up on TNA, but let's pretend that never happened. We also got Cena versus Triple H versus Orton. Talk about ruthless aggression and star power. It was the most typical main event level triple threat match ever, non-stop brawling and finishers, but hey, it was fun. I was just disappointed we didn't get to see Orton and Cena one-on-one at Mania. Regardless, this was fun. This was the Randy Orton show. There was one goal with this match, and that was make Randy look elite. And of course he did. Double DDT on both Cena and Triple H, RKO on Triple H. Randy stole the victory by punting Triple H, taking his pin. This was the Randy Orton show. When celebrity involvement is done right, it's awesome. When it's done wrong, yeah, it's pretty lame. But Floyd Mayweather in 2008, yo, you might not have liked it, but I loved it. Floyd was just so good at being a heel because because he wasn't acting, he was just being himself. He wanted to see Floyd lose, and that's why his pay-per-view sold so well. And even though here it was wrestling, just the dynamic of the world's largest athlete fighting the best boxer who happens to be the size of his leg was interesting. So Floyd Mayweather versus the Big Show at WrestleMania. Floyd comes out, money falling from the sky, fireworks exploding, his posse is there, and he's face to face with the Big Show. The size difference is insane. The best boxer, one of the most popular athletes in the world, was in a WWE ring in his prime, about to wrestle. What was cool about this was Floyd wrestled. He took bumps, and it was just fun. Big Show stomped on Floyd's hand, and Floyd was selling it like it legit was broken. Floyd, to his credit, took a Big Show chop to the chest. Show picked him up and gave him a side slam. Show dropped his leg on the arm, stepped on Floyd's ribs, and delivered a headbutt. Floyd took bumps. What more could you ask from him? And they put together a great little man versus giant match. Yes, there were interferences, people getting choke slammed and thrown around the ring, chairs were brought in, it was a spectacle, but the crowd was into it. I was into it, my friends were into it, my parents were into it. It was just entertaining. After chair shots and brass knuckle shots,
it was so real. I had to create Floyd Mayweather on the game that year, boy. I swear to God.
Coming in, or Tyson Fury, which no one really cared. This was 2008 Floyd Money Mayweather. See, the show had everything. You wanted people killing each other in a ladder match, you got Money in the Bank. You wanted to cry and be infested, you got Michaels versus Flair. You wanted a spectacle, you had Floyd versus Big Show. You wanted a good old-fashioned triple threat full of star power, you had Cena versus Triple H versus Randy Orton. This isn't the best Mania ever, but it was just good, and we still had the main event left for the World Heavyweight Championship. The Dead Man, the Phenom, The Undertaker, who was undefeated at WrestleMania 15-0, was back in the main event of WrestleMania for the first time since 1997. And he was up against the heel of a generation, the man we hated like no other, the man who somehow, someway always figured it out, always clapped our favorites, always finessed his way to the top, the rated R superstar, Edge. What made it special was, well, one, we wanted to see this. Second, this wasn't just another match for Undertaker. He wanted to kill Edge. He wanted to destroy him, and it was almost a year in the making. The year prior, Undertaker was the World Heavyweight Champion. He had just held onto his title after a bloody cage match versus Batista, where both men's feet hit the floor at the same time.
That's stupid shit. I forgot about that.
Henry came in and beat up the bloody Dead Man even more. And as Mark was leaving, out came Edge with the Money in the Bank briefcase. When The Undertaker was at his weakest, after a violent cage match, after getting crushed by Mark Henry, Edge, the ultimate opportunist, took advantage and became World Heavyweight Champion. And it didn't stop there. Edge, over the course of the next year, somehow, someway, always got the better of Taker. He cost the Taker the title 3 times, interfering in Taker's Hell in a Cell match, destroying him with the camera, using lookalikes to finesse a win in a triple threat match. Edge just had Undertaker's number. But the thing was, could he do it one more time on the biggest night of the year, on the night where no one had ever beat The Undertaker, on the grandest stage of them all, in the main events of WrestleMania? Could Edge end the streak? Undertaker versus Edge at WrestleMania, almost a year in the making.
You cannot end the streak.
I love SmackDown at this time. Friday nights, I was tuned in every Friday, looking forward to it, hoping, praying Edge would finally get his due by Batista, Taker, or even Rey Mysterio, but he barely did. So I was excited for this. The Dead Man was finally going to get his hands on Edge. And this was a great match. Edge really brought his game. Edge wanted to make himself so bad. He wanted to showcase to the world how elite he was. We knew he was elite, but that's what makes all-time greats great. The chip on their shoulder to always perform, to always show the world how great they are. The crowd was low-key dead after the spectacle of Floyd versus Show, but this match was so good they brought them back into it. Once the match kicked into the second gear, it was a wrap. Undertaker went for a choke slam, Edge countered it with the execution. Edge reversed the last right into a neck breaker. The story was, whatever Taker did, Edge had an answer for it. When Taker finally did hit him with a choke slam or the last ride, Edge somehow kicked out. So even though he was a sneaky heel who people thought was a fluke champion who shouldn't be here, when it mattered, he put in work and he stood toe-to-toe with The Undertaker. It felt like a big match. It felt like a big deal. A WrestleMania main event worthy match. My favorite moment in the match was the referee's down. Edge grabs the camera and bashes it in Taker's face, just like how we did at Survivor Series 2007, but Undertaker still sat up. Both men just kept on fighting. Nobody was going down. So Edge went for the tombstone, but Undertaker reversed it into his own tombstone. but the referee was still down. So Charles Robinson ran for his life. Look how big that stage was and that ramp, and he ran for his life. He got down there, 1, 2, no. Edge kicked down the tombstone at WrestleMania. It was just back and forth, insane kickouts and moments where Edge survives everything. And I was like, maybe this is it. Maybe Edge is going to be the one who ends the streak. You had Hawkins.
Do you want to see me? Do you want to beat me? Bam, 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 bam.
Taker turns around and bang, spear. It's over, right? 1, 2, no. Okay, it's fine. Edge is going for a second spear, but we all thought, no way. There's no way he's gonna hit it. The Undertaker is going to leap over or move. There's no way he's gonna hit him with the second spear right away. So Edge runs, he actually hits him with the second spear. At that point, we were like, is Undertaker really gonna kick out of a second spear? No way, like we thought it was over. How the hell was Undertaker gonna kick out? So Edge goes over, and just when you least expected it, Undertaker traps Edge into a submission move he had just introduced recently. Edge is fighting and fighting. Edge did everything right. He reversed everything. He hit him with the camera. He hit him with 2 spears, but the dead man always evolves.
The
And
Hell's
dead
Gate.
man had 1 tool left in his woodshed. Edge is
Niggas hated that
fighting and
bitch,
fighting,
boy.
but
They had
there's
to
no
ban
choice
that
but to
bitch.
tap out. And the Undertaker wins at WrestleMania and is 16-0. What a match, a classic, one of my favorite matches of the 2000s. Edge and Taker just had that chemistry. Edge and Taker delivered a banger. The Undertaker was once again World Heavyweight Champion, and even though Edge lost, he looked better than ever. He once again on the WrestleMania stage showed the world how elite he truly was. And the Undertaker was now 16-0 at WrestleMania.
Damn,
was
he ain't
just
doing
happy
WrestleMania
that Edge
26,
was
man?
no longer champion.
That was probably like the last good one. Well, 27.
What a show, what a spectacle. This WrestleMania had you crying, had you on the edge of your seat, had
He
you
got
laughing, had you
WrestleMania
off. This is what
21 and
WrestleMania is
22,
all about.
but
It
not
wasn't the
26,
best Mania ever.
27.
It wasn't 17 or 19, but it
Real
was
life,
a
it
damn
stopped.
good
It stopped
WrestleMania. It was
to
a
at
spectacle.
28.
It was a showcase of
But he got
the immortals.
28
It was
though. That
larger
is
than life.
crazy.
It had the stage of them all. It was a show that I don't.
That is crazy. He got WrestleMania 28, but don't got 27 and 26. Make it make sense. Just make it make sense. That's wild. Whatever. What else from the press? I want to see how this shit is. Hold on. It's everything wrong with WrestleMania 24. So I guess it's supposed to be like Cinema Sin. It is.
I know I can't be the only one who wonders what WrestleMania would look like if a thunderstorm was occurring throughout the entire show. Sure, it rained for a while on this night, but eventually it subsided.
WrestleMania Sin.
I can understand now why WWE doesn't usually have opening pyro at the beginning of outdoor WrestleManias, because I hardly saw anything right there. Dang, that was hardly any pyro, and from the way things are looking, it looks like all 70,000 plus fans were smoking pot. Previously already on WWE.
I was. I don't know. Yeah, I was about to say. I wish he would have picked a different sound for the ding or the ring or whatever.
Because I hardly saw anything right there. Dang, that was hardly any pyro, and from the way things are looking, it looks like all 70,000 plus fans were smoking pot. Previously already on WWE. A handicap match instead of a one-on-one Belfast Brawl match. Why didn't the referee ring the bell? The wrestlers don't always have to be in the ring for a hardcore match to begin. Why would you do that? Why would you just willingly throw the kendo sticks to JBL? You do realize that throwing all those weapons to him gives him an advantage, right? See what I mean? Well, thanks for giving Finlay the heads up, JBL. Apparently a slap to the shoulder can knock you out cold, as if you just... return of Matt Hardy and the twist of fate from the ladder was delightful. 3 sins for this event shall be deleted. Ceiling cam. Why couldn't you just say repeat? Because 2P don't make contest with ladder. And again, if I said that to them, they'd go through with it without a second thought. Oh, my kill switch. Up already? We're showing you guys the blimp just in case there are some of you that believe in magic when it comes to camera shots from above. Kim Kardashian. Seriously, fuck the Kardashians. And again, if I said that to them, they'd go through with it without a second thought.
Bro, I play that song damn near every day. So just hearing that bitch, hearing that bitch playing that nigga come out to is crazy. It's a crazy feeling.
Shots from above. Kim Kardashian. Seriously, fuck the Kardashians. And again, if I said that to them, they'd go through with it without a second thought. Oh, my kill switch.
One last time.
The Kardashians. And again, if I said that to them, they'd go through with it without a second thought. Oh, my kill switch. Mr. Kennedy said that he would win this match for the 2nd year in a row, then ultimately runs underneath ladders. No wonder he ends up losing. Bad luck, bro. Jesus, you can't even see the crowd anymore from this shot. And you can barely see the stage, too. I think that's the most smoke I've ever seen during a WWE event. Joust contest with ladders. Damn, that's worth a double center mover. However, from the way John Morrison landed on the other wrestlers, the ladder wasn't needed considering it didn't strike them at all.
To make sure that it's not a two-peat.
Two-peat? The fuck is that supposed to mean? Why couldn't you just say repeat?
I'm gonna have to watch this on my own. I ain't gonna lie. This is like that stupid shit.
Final match, but he couldn't at least show up as part of the WWE Hall of Fame class. Hell, he spent nearly 2 hours in his speech the night previous, yet he couldn't appear on stage with the rest of the class. He is also the head inductee, too.
Playboy. And representing Nature.
Victory was well earned by CM Punk. So many sins have been removed during this match, too, proving that there are a lot of things that can be too much for the sins to handle.
And representing Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
I understand that Ric Flair was preparing for his final match, but he couldn't at least head inductee, too.
Playboy Bunny Mania.
Playboy Bunny Mania. The embarrassing and disastrous Festus gimmick. I feel really bad for Luke Gallows.
Ain't that right, McFizzle?
McFizzle.
McFizzle.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Red Hot Chili Peppers is awesome. If anyone doesn't agree, deal with it. A sin's getting removed for this song.
This next match.
It has been literally 15 minutes between the last match and this one. Is the Hall of Fame and backstage interview supposed to be WrestleMania's version of an intermission or something? I just might have to add in 5 sins for William Regal's horrible pronunciation of Umaga. And at WrestleMania too. There's no way he'd be able to mispronounce Umaga as Umanga, even with his accent.
Umaga and Batista.
Batista? First William mispronounces Umaga as Umanga. Now Michael Cole mispronounces Batista as Bautista. I think I just found where fans got that name from when they called Dave that in 2014. Is this a common thing that always happens to Umaga, jumping onto the ring post whenever someone moves out of the way? I swear I've seen that at least once in almost every match Umaga has had. Amazing that Dave was able to give Umaga the Batista bomb, though he sadly slipped and fell awkwardly. Seriously? Floyd Mayweather, an undefeated boxing champion, likely not doing well in a match where it's anything goes? If anything, that just increases his chances rather than decreases it. Previously on WrestleMania 24.
Crest 3D White Daily Whitening Serum. 100% whiter teeth, 0 sensitivity. Your future starts now at WGU. For more than 25 years, WGU has been making higher education more accessible. Now the nation's largest online accredited university, according to data from the U.S. Department of Education, WGU was built differently from the start. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree on your time in less time. Choose from dozens of available programs in high-demand fields like IT, business, healthcare, or education. Here, you can study at your pace and move through courses quickly when you know your stuff. Here, you can pass your tests while the kids are sleeping. Here, you can trust your degree will be respected. In fact, according to a hair.
This is something that still boggles my mind. And that's how the hell Kane went back to the locker room, came back down that long-ass ramp to the ring, and getting underneath the ring without anybody noticing him. Seriously, what's the damn secret here? Well, that was a waste of fucking time. I hate squash matches at freaking WrestleMania. Skip. What is this, Celebrity Mania? Ric Flair's entrance was amazing in many ways. Wish I was there to personally witness it, but even watching it at home was amazing. I'll remove a few sins out of respect for Ric.
Once again, rise to the occasion.
But seriously though, Ric doesn't need the referees lowering the ropes down for him to get in the ring. I'm sorry, I just don't see the reasons why. Sure, he's old and overdue for retirement, but he can still get in the ring and do good.
Michael's a really quicker of the two. Goes without saying.
Then why did you say it if saying that Shawn is the quicker of the two goes without saying?
Hands to Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels actually believes that Ric is gonna leave now just because of a slap. Shawn overselling a small kick. Seriously, was the flipping backwards part necessary?
Look out here! Look out!
We are gathered here today to remember and celebrate the life of Shawn Michaels Rouge as they were ruthlessly killed by an announce table. Rest in peace.
Charles Robinson, who has been a Ric Flair fan his entire life. Oh my God!
Who the hell cares?
And Michael showing no surcease.
Why the hell would he? Just because he's a legend? It's a match at WrestleMania. And tonight really hasn't been the night for Shawn to be doing moonsaults. First, he nearly shattered his ribs to pieces on the announce table, and now he barely hit Ric at all and
bounced his knees off the mat.
But a low blow behind the referee's back is sadly a sin. Copyright infringement. No words to describe how emotional this was. Even though I knew it was well past Ric's time to retire, it still doesn't change the fact that this is one of the most emotional moments in WrestleMania history.
God.
And it'll even remove a grand total of 30 sins for a great 30-plus year career of Ric Flair.
Bruh.
Random pyro explosions for absolutely no reason. Or did they do this because WWE knew Snoop Dogg was coming out next and wanted the entire stadium to be filled with smoke? Apparently, driving a vehicle down the ramp at WrestleMania with the Divas following suit can lead you into the WWE Hall of Fame 8 years later.
Shut up.
Well, Santino did say that he was showing up, so I don't see why you're surprised, Jerry.
Ashley. That's Ashley tagging in.
I had to say her name twice in case you forgot her name was Ashley.
Oh, look at Maria. The glam was on.
God damn it, I fucking hate power outages any day, but in the middle of a Divas match at WrestleMania really sucks.
The Undertaker to the right.
Wah, wah. Randomness. Meh. I don't care what anybody says. A marching band performing John Cena's entrance theme is awesome in every way, and I'm removing 5 sins for that. Vince McMahon likely messed with this poll. Why would Hunter and John have a discussion with the match stars? It's pretty much their own fault that Hunter got blasted with the title. That was in no way an inverted atomic drop. That is clearly a backbreaker. Get your facts right, JR. Congrats, Hunter. You made Randy get to the ropes. Exactly how does that help this case if there are no disqualifications and thus no rope breaks? I will. What could happen if Hunter doesn't break the hold? Alright, the way Randy won this match was cool. Pedigree, punt, and take advantage. This was a pretty good match. Matches involving celebrities are always a sin, even if that celebrity is a fighter. I don't even know if I should call those shorts that Floyd Mayweather is wearing, considering they are almost the exact same length as regular pants. Like, what the fuck is that supposed to be? What an asshole. Oh no, is the water okay? The stupid dumbasses that are Floyd's managers and handlers constantly saying he can't be doing that annoyed the hell out of me this whole match. much answers the sin. For fuck's sake. Apparently a chair shot from someone who's a powerhouse bodyguard has no effect on the Big Show, yet a chair shot from tiny little Floyd Mayweather has a lot of effect. WWE logic, am I right? Fuck this and all celebrity matches in WWE history. Are we not allowed to have a match at WrestleMania where the celebrity competing actually doesn't win and gets dominated? Seriously, look up a match at WrestleMania where a celebrity wrestles and tell me if you see one where the celebrity actually loses and gets his ass kicked. I can't believe I agreed to do this, and I can't believe I am literally 0-2 against celebrities at WrestleMania face.
Will you marry me?
What a dick. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's the thing when WrestleMania has a host that only has a one...
Do you wanna see? Do you wanna be? Do you wanna see? Do you wanna be? Do you wanna see? Hey! Another trailer for the new Ghostbusters just dropped.
With Cascade Platinum Plus, I load this and get this. Dare to dish differently. I'm not sure how I got here. Has to do with Spider-Man, I think. What the hell are you talking about?
Welcome to Screen Crush, I'm Colton Ogburn, and while the MCU has been struggling to reach the former glory of its Infinity Saga, there's actually another studio who's had an even more difficult time with its universe of Marvel characters. So we need to talk about what's going on with Sony's live-action Marvel universe, where it went wrong, and how they could have had an awesome live-action Marvel universe of their own without Spider-Man had they adapted one of the best Marvel comics ever written. And there are also some recent reports claiming that Sony and Marvel Studios are butting heads over what direct... Say that again?
Thanks Ipsos Ice for sponsoring this video. Hey, welcome back to Screen Crush. I'm Ryan Airy, and finally, the thing.
What? Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch both of them. So I ain't gonna watch that. I ain't gonna watch that. Not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. You nothing to make me dun 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 dun. Yeah. Aquaman 2. One day. Aquaman 2. That's what we're gonna do. No. Really? Really?
This video is sponsored by Baton BetterHelp. More on that after the
This video is not sponsored by Baton BetterHelp.
Check Nation, we are here to watch the Grand Theft Auto 6 official trailer. I've been at CarMax for like the last 6 hours. This came out right when I arrived at CarMax. Woo! But it allowed me the opportunity to talk with some people on social media because I only play Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, so there's a couple that I missed.
Oh, I played those and I played 4.
Oh, congrats congratulations. But people said no, she's still checking out the trailer because it's been like a decade or so.
While you're at the car dealership trying to
Legally acquire a car. Anyway, guys, let's see what's going on in this trailer and what all the hype's about, because people are talking about it primarily because it's been like a very, very long time. But let's see.
Oh, these motherfuckers didn't play 5. Like, I got 5 when it first came out.
Lucia. Bad luck, I guess.
Woke Theft Auto.
Are we back in Florida?
Are we back in Vice?
Yeah. I think we are. Look at the slopes.
Damn.
Look at the beach, the character models there.
Yeah. I mean, that looks like LA.
Holy moly.
I think we're going everywhere.
No, I was just
It was
cool.
definitely
Now this looks like it says Vice. Ooh. It is Vice.
Yeah, okay.
TikTok's reels.
One of those looks a little San Andreas, but now this is all Vice. Oh, yeah. Florida man.
You ready?
Do you want to dab on it once or twice? Do you want to dab on it once or twice? Huh? Dab on it once or twice?
Guys, wondering in his underwear.
Who's back?
Grand Theft Auto's back. Here's
Here's
its
emotions.
emotions.
Is my student.
Whoa.
Dirt.
Like dirt bags.
So the main character's a couple?
Trust.
Dang, okay. You choose
Hell
which
yeah.
one you want to be?
Device. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Oh, wow. I need to pick it back up, man. Got some thoughts?
Let's hear him.
All right.
Bitch.
After a word from our
Bitch.
sponsor. Hello there,
Bitch.
esteemed viewer of The Real
Bitch.
Rejects. I, Greg Alba,
Bitch.
language connoisseur
Bitch.
and worldly gentleman, am
Bitch.
here to bestow upon you the
Bitch.
secrets of battle.
Bitch.
The language app that transforms
Bitch.
mere mo-
Told you stop playing.
Oh, it must be some
with-
stuff on the door.
Yeah. Right, so right there, perfect. You see on on the right side,
Yeah.
the door, it says right there, we will no longer accept cash stored in underwear. And the font and everything.
Wait a minute, you read that?
Yeah, it's above that one on the right. Like that's
Even
what
that's crazy. Wow, did you go through with a magnifying glass?
I got really close to the screen. I watched it frame by
Holy
frame. I
shit.
watched this for
Julian?
3 hours.
You're insane. You're crazy.
I wanted to do a
You
good
need some
job.
help. I mean, thank you. That was actually great, but I'm concerned about you, man.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
And yeah,
You
let's-
take your medication today.
Actually, I did take my medication. That's how I noticed all this shit.
Yeah, we're gonna watch that later. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Cause it's like, I want to do that, but I also want to do this. But if I do this, I ain't able to do that. You know? Like, does that make sense?
Did you know most dish soaps don't remove all the grease, even with scrubbing?
What? I just cleaned those.
Try Dawn Platinum. It removes 99% of grease and food residue. That's why Dawn is trusted to save.
Time it is. Ain't number 7 o'clock.
Wildlife affected by oil. Dawn Platinum cleans this week.
It's weapon time, ladies and gentlemen. Coy, the Sony man. Cody Johnson owns Valentine's Day. Now the bondage is wet. Oh my God, have we hit the 15 to 20 second mark yet? Because that's what's required. Are you excited to talk about Ezekiel Sims?
Seeing this?
That's what I read on Twitter.
Amazing Spider-Man number 30's Ezekiel Sims, as invented by J. Michael Straczynski, illustrated by John Peter Jr.
Ever felt like your browser is as flat as the deep's understanding of marine biology? Oh. Faster than you train on a good day. Thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. We'll level up your browsing game, folks. Download Opera GX, and oh yeah, don't miss Gen V on Prime Video.
Hey, come on. Get your stuff. Let's go.
Yeah, right away. Sydney Sweeney. Whoa! That was a cool shot. Practical Spider-Man? Damn. Damn, it's like upgrade. Yeah. Ouch. She got prunes from the web's life. It's gonna be a 4-star.
A week ago, I spent my life racing against time.
I'm gonna help you out today, okay?
Trying to save people who are running out of it.
Oh no.
One moment changed everything.
Oh my God. Little Spider-Baby, is that May Parker? Is that little May Parker? I think it was. Is that Peter Parker?
I don't understand what's happening. I've been having visions. I knew he was gonna die.
Precog. It's a good shot. There's some good shots in there.
New York City's a whole new level of crazy these days.
See what happens again. He's shoeless. It might be Ezekiel Sims.
New York City's a whole new level of crazy these days.
Final Spider Destination.
This is Final Spider Destination.
Who are you? What is going on?
Oh my God.
I can see the future.
Sydney Sweeney glasses. Me liking.
What the hell? Shouldn't see that coming? That's not how it works.
It's not how being psychic works.
I've seen that man before. So who is he? Ezekiel Sims.
He doesn't have shoes.
Along with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
Just Toby in through that little
You
web.
live in my building. You're the paramedic. Yeah, you almost ran me over. You don't think this is weird? How we're all connected?
I do. I think it's weird.
Honestly, like the least weird thing that's happened all day.
I have no idea where those girls are coming from.
Into the future.
You're trying to change what happened.
There's a cool direction in some of this. It's got that Sony cheese I love. Yeah.
Almost so different.
Dude.
You have to trust me.
They're in New York and Spider-Man's actually swinging around.
You're showing off. Maybe a little.
I'm very excited.
You know that Spider-Man says play Taste New York? And this movie knows it?
Yeah.
That feels so like New York web-heady. It does. It's got that for sure.
Look at the jovialness.
I'm so excited.
It's vibrating off of Korea right now.
How many Spider-Men leave New York immediately to go to Europe or to go to space? This has some flavor of New York. Far from home. All of the Homecoming, he was in the suburbs, and then in No Way Home, they like took him away from New York so they could have emotional beats adjacent. That was great.
Yeah. John, please.
It's more
Do you want to see me? Oh, baby, dun 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 dun. Do you wanna 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 do you I can do this all day. Stupid ass. No, seriously, but I'm not. So you're welcome. I'ma just be annoying in other ways, like sing unnecessarily. And it get crazy, but you know it's not me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.